Alabama back in the playoffs in 2025. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kangaroo Black, coming back once again to talk about my Alabama Crimson Tide and the 2025 playoffs and the upcoming season. And when talking about the playoffs this upcoming season, it's all speculation because we don't know what these teams are going to look like in 2025 because the spring transfer portal is fast approaching. And I'm quite sure every team is going to lose players to the portal. And I would think that most every team will pick up players from the transfer portal. How many? Who knows? But we don't know what these teams are going to look like yet. It won't be until the spring transfer portal closed that we will get a glimpse of what these teams are going to look like or what our team is going to look like. But OKB is expecting nothing less than a playoff appearance from my Alabama Crimson Tide. Just gotta, put in the work. We got the talent. We got the coaching staff. Put in work. Make it happen on Saturdays. I know it's easier said than done, as we Alabama fans know going off of last season. I can tell you that right now. But anyway, once again, I'm on Bama Hammer. That's the site I'm getting this information from. You know what I'm saying? But experts tab Alabama football as a back to the playoff team along with an old foe, and that foe is LSU. Okay? But I'm going to tell you right now, LSU fans, in order for your LSU Tigers to make it to the playoffs, you better fix that defense because the last two seasons, it was atrocious. Your defense was non-existent. Jalen Milroe ran up, down, through, and over your defense. But Jalen Milroe is not at Alabama no more. But you better get it fixed. That's all I'm going to tell you. If you expect to be in the playoff. Now, like I say, these experts, they done tab you as a playoff team in 2025. All speculation. All speculation. I know Brian Kelly, he went out there and addressed some needs in the transfer portal. But when you get a lot of players in the transfer portal, me personally, I don't think you should get a lot of players from the transfer portal and expect them to come in and start. I feel, one or two pieces out the transfer portal make an immediate impact, but the rest is depth. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. But anyway, let's get to the article. A few college football experts including one who knows the Alabama football program well, predicts the Crimson Tide to be one of the SEC's most improved teams. 8 ESPN college football experts pick the teams that they expect to improve enough in 2025 season to make the playoff. Chris Lowe, a close observer of Alabama football, chose the Alabama Crimson Tide. Kyle Bonagura agreed with Lowe, writing, Alabama is the obvious answer. Two of the other ESPN experts picked the LSU Bengal Tigers, with one of them, Andrea Aldison, adding Alabama football and possibly Texas A&M. Texas A&M. In choosing LSU, Max Olson wrote, LSU is the one that stands out for me. The Tigers added an impressive amount of premium proven talent via the transfer portal in December, and their lineup is going to be loaded with newcomers at the wide receiver, tight end, cornerback, and along the offensive line and defensive lines. Damn. Winning all those recruiting battles wasn't easy and certainly wasn't cheap. Olsen is right. It's a new day in Baton Rouge. A year ago, Brian Kelly stated, "We're not in the market of buying players." Not only did Kelly reverse directions, but the Bengal Tigers are believed to have one of the highest player acquisition budgets in college football. LSU has added a bounty of talent, resulting in little or no need to add more transfers from the spring portal entries. Olsen also stated LSU has added an impressive amount of premium proven talent via the transfer portal. Now, if you're getting all these players from the transfer portal, they got to have some kind of continuity before the season starts. We done seen teams get players out of these transfer portal, and sometimes they're worse off than what they was. I will continue to say you can't build a championship team through the transfer portal. You just can't do it. I understand you might have you might have recruited very well, but guess what? How many of those recruits, those newly recruits, are going to make an impact as a true freshman? How many? How many of those players that was true freshmen last season is going to have a great impact this season? Now, I ain't saying LSU can't make the playoffs. I'm just saying, if you expect to be a championship team or a playoff team through the transfer portal, most likely that's not going to happen. And again, LSU must fix their defense. Now, I know Alabama had some issues on defense last season, but damn, LSU probably had the worst defense in the SEC. It was bad. It was bad. Real bad. So, they're going to have to fix all of that shit. And improve. LSU must battle Alabama football in Tuscaloosa. And you damn right. I don't know. When was it? When was the last time Alabama won in Tuscaloosa? I mean LSU. Was it 2019 or did we play in Baton Rouge? I really don't know. But you coming to Baton Rouge, and you coming to Tuscaloosa with the defense, even if it even resembled last season, you're going to be in for a long day, even though we ain't got Jalen Milroe. And you know what Jalen Milroe did to the LSU defense both years. Both years, 23 and 24, ran up, down, through, under, and over that LSU so-called defense. Okay? But you got to come to T-Town this year. We got a different quarterback. Garrett Nussmeier came back. You know what I'm saying? But hey, we'll see where the chips fall. And I'm thinking that those chips will fall in Alabama's favor. I don't care what the team look like. I'm just telling you right now. That's what I expect. Anyway, maybe LSU will be much improved, but their schedule is tough, including a trip to face the Crimson Tide at Bryant-Denny Stadium. The ESPN expert also projected college football most improved team for 2025. Two teams most frequently mentioned were Florida State and Oklahoma. Alabama opens with Florida State in Tallahassee and get the Sooners in Tuscaloosa a week before hosting LSU. The Seminoles could be a huge improvement. The Seminoles could have a huge improvement over last season and be nothing better than average, especially early in the season. Damn, they went off on you, FSU. You got to take up for yourself. Jake Trotter projects South Carolina as a threat to win the SEC if Lenora Sellers takes another step off from last year's breakout season. Alabama football's travel to Columbia on October 25th. October 25th. But I'm going to tell you right now, that's a game that makes me nervous. Going to South Carolina, facing Lenora Sellers. Lenora Sellers was a little injured when he played us last season. If he come into this game healthy, our defense better pack their damn lunch. I'm going to tell you right now, Lenora Sellers ain't no joke. And if South Carolina's defense resemble what they was last season, we're going to be in for a tough game. Our offensive line going to have to pack their lunch that day too. Just saying. October 25th. Just saying. I'm not too much worried about Oklahoma. I know Oklahoma stomped the dog shit out of last season. But we all know the offensive deficiencies that Alabama had last season. I ain't getting into all that. All right. Really, Alabama as a team was hit or miss last season. You didn't know what you was going to get. But I expect us to be better this season. Yeah, I got a lot of expectations for my Alabama Crimson Tide under Ryan Grubb. A lot of them. All right. The daggone band is back together. Coach Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb. So I'm expecting a lot. But anyway, talk about Florida State. Yeah, they might be a little better than average, but you're going to have to bring more than that to beat my Alabama Crimson Tide. All right. As I said, speculation, because we don't know what these teams look like. But I think my Alabama Crimson Tide will look better than daggone Oklahoma and Florida State. Now, I could be wrong. All right. But anyway, and we got Florida State in week 1, the home opener. You know, so we'll see. But LSU, they got Clemson as the home opener. And I think Clemson is going to be improved from last season. And I think Clemson will beat LSU in the home opener. And Brian Kelly will be winless in his home openers at LSU. And LSU will remain winless in their home opener since 2019 when they won the national championship. Just saying, they'll be winless in their home opener since Joe Burrow. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, so they got Alabama as a playoff team, LSU as a playoff team. Couple mentioned Texas A&M. They saying South Carolina could win the SEC, and if they do, it'll be their very first SEC championship. Ain't that something? Very first. But I don't know. But they talking about LSU and Alabama in this thing, man. But so if I look at LSU schedule and them making the playoffs, you know, they open their season, like I said, against Clemson August 30th. Then they got we'll say in the first 5 games, they got Clemson, Florida, Ole Miss, and South Carolina in their first 5 games. How LSU going to navigate that? The first 5, Clemson, Florida, Ole Miss, South Carolina. And I think Florida going to be much improved. You know, they ain't fixed that defense. It's a great possibility that they could lose all of those games. All right. Then they got Vanderbilt after Vanderbilt after South Carolina. Then Texas A&M. Then they got to come to Alabama. Might be pretty tough. It might be pretty tough. But maybe they can do it. And if I look at Alabama, like I say, we open with Florida State. I think we can win that. I think we can beat Wisconsin. Then we got Georgia after the bye week. Okay, within the first 5 games, Florida State, Wisconsin, Georgia, Vandy. So that's within the first 5 games. I feel like we can beat all of them. But if we lose one of those games, I think it will be Georgia. I don't feel like we're going to lose to Vandy for another 40 damn years. One off last season. Blame it on the offensive woes. I'll say that. But anyway, if we lose any game within the first 5, it'll be Georgia. But we done beat Georgia so many damn times, even in Athens, that's a game that I don't even worry about no more. What's the point? What's the point? You know, I'm being for real. But anyway, we got Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina, LSU, back to back. All back to back. And Oklahoma come to town, they like they say, they beat the dog shit out of us last season. But I don't think that's gonna happen in Tuscaloosa. Blame it on the offensive woes once again. And then we got to go to Jordan Hare. You know how it is at that place. Alabama always seems to have problems in Jordan Hare, even with Nick Saban. So I expect a tough game that game. So we'll see. We'll see how the cookie crumble. For that I said, I expect nothing less than a playoff appearance on my Alabama Crimson Tide. And after we get to the playoffs, I expect to make it to the national championship game and win it. You know what I'm saying? That my Alabama Crimson Tide going to win the national championship every year because I believe it. I believe it. I know it's not reality, but I believe it every damn year. So, anyway, give me y'all thoughts, man. Playoff team. Is Alabama going to be a playoff team this season? As you look at this team right now, is LSU going to be a playoff team? Texas A&M, South Carolina. Can South Carolina win the SEC? This is the team that was mentioned in this article. Let me know what y'all think. And remember, be blessed. And KB don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. And roll damn Tide.